we're going through the most turbulent times in human history. And this turbulence is the result of religious malfunctioning. We have discussed on a number of occasions what is a religious malfunctioning. How does a religion become void of guidance? How does a religion become a monster? A religion is a very strict discipline, and that discipline is to discipline one's self. When every strict action is taken against you by the religion, and there is no benefit out of this practice, it starts to reverse and it backfires, and the religious practitioners become stubborn and restive. The hearts are darkened and hardened. Rituals become the ultimate practice of that religion. This turbulence and this turmoil in the religion has affected humanity on a large scale in the past also. However, it is turning out to be so dangerous in our contemporary times, all thanks to the technology. And somebody advising love and peace is like a lonely voice and appears to be a cry in the wilderness. People who take advantage of such opportunities, they raise slogans of peace and love. However, their aim is not to genuinely strive for peace or to promote love. They make everything as an instrumental to benefit from it and become a trader. In these times where there is a lot of radicalization is being hammered into young minds and aspiring people who are willing to become Muslims. However, they are so naive to the principal thought of Islam, the primary purpose of Islam. Radicalization, hate preaching is taking its toll, especially when the religion is represented by idiots, ignoramus, dolt, and stupid people. Some Sufi scholars who claim to be so are taking advantage of the situation. See, if you don't know cricket, I can tell you 1,000 stories about cricket. And I can tell you I'm a wonderful cricketer. I played first class cricket. Because you don't know cricket. In a similar way, people are talking about Sufism in this day and age, and they don't know Sufism. And these fake Sufis who have gained some parrot type cramming by reading Sufi books, they have become fearless in claiming that they are Sufis, because they know deep down in their heart nobody knows about Sufism, so just go with the flow. Nobody for sure knows about Sufism. Sufism is not a practice. Sufism is a mechanism. And the mechanics of Sufism is rooted deep down in your heart. Somebody asked me a question about a Sufi scholar who comes from Pakistan and currently who is a Canadian citizen, Tahir Qadri. He claims to be a Sufi scholar. And the question is put to me about his claims. And his claim is that he has received spiritual grace directly from Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And he has taken some lessons on the knowledge of Sharia from Abu Hanifa, Imam Abu Hanifa, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, in his dreams for 12 years. On one occasion, he said 12 years. On another occasion, he said 9 years. Having made all these claims of being a recipient of the spiritual grace of Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani and obtaining knowledge in the company of Imam Abu Hanifa in his dreams, all he talks about under the label of Sufism is the knowledge he has attained from the study of different books. When you obtain knowledge about Sufism and talk about it, it is not Sufism, it's just Sufi phraseology. For example, we usually take a tablet called Panadol for fever, for sore throat, for headaches, for body ache and pains. And we take it and we feel better within the next 20 to 30 minutes. What if I keep saying Panadol, 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 and I don't actually take Panadol? Is it going to really help me? Similarly, if you keep saying love God, love God, love God, love God, love God, love Prophet Muhammad, love Prophet Muhammad, love Prophet Muhammad, no matter how loud you are saying it on top of your voice, is it going to benefit you by saying love God, love God, love God, love God? No. You will only feel better when you take Panadol. The medicine must go into your stomach, right? And the ingredients of the medicine should go down in your bloodstream. And this is when you will feel better. Opening of the heart is gateway to spirituality and Sufism. One who doesn't know about the opening of the heart, yet he claims to be a Sufi, is yet another Abu Bakr Baghdadi. Why? Because Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is killing people and their bodies are slaughtered. He's killing their bodies And when you claim to be a fake Sufi and you take so many people into your discipleship and you do not even know what is opening of the heart, you are actually murdering 16 souls in one human being. You are a greater terrorist under the label of Sufi scholarship. You are a greater murderer, a greater terrorist. And this is all happening. You go to the United States of America, you will see so many fake Sufis there. Sheikh Hisham, a Sufi scholar from Lebanon, a disciple of Sheikh Nazim. Sheikh Nazim from northern Cyprus, who claimed to be a master of awliya, king of awliya, sultanul awliya, and he didn't know about the opening of the heart. Now the question is, if you have received spiritual grace, faiz, from a Murshid-e Kamil or from Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, do you need to read and study books for guidance? No. Always remember, the way God dispenses guidance is different. If you are a commoner means somebody who doesn't really want to go into the depth of the religion, and he wants to be a simple follower, a follower who wants to do the basics of the religion. He doesn't want to, become an expert, or he doesn't go after God's love or, things like that. He just wants to lead a balanced life, socially and religiously, a balanced life. For a commoner, God's way of dispensing guidance is different. To those who want to be elected by God among the elite ones, the special ones. For the commoner, there are books. They study books and do what is right and refrain from doing what is wrong. And this is guidance for commoner. However, for these special ones, for those who want to be from among the elite group, the guidance comes from God. It doesn't come from the book. And this guidance from God comes through light. And the Quran said it. Nothing that I'm saying is invented by myself. According to the Quran, Yahdi Allahi li nurihi man yashau. Yahdi Allahi li nurihi man yashau. And Allah guides with His light to whomsoever He wishes to. Yahdi Allahi li nurihi man yashau. اور اللہ جس کو پسند کرتا ہے خود، جس کا انتخاب وہ خود کرتا ہے، اس کو نور کی ہدایت دیتا ہے، سب کو نہیں دیتا. Now this is what This is how God works. I mean, there is no such thing as being deserving. Whether or not you deserve something rests on God's choice. It is God who will decide who is deserving and who is non-deserving. So people who adopt a spiritual community, in Urdu, Ruhani Silsila, people who adopt a spiritual community, a Sufi circle, and their intention is to become a disciple of a divinely ordained, divinely anointed, appointed Murshid Kamil. Their guidance starts by activation and opening of the heart with God's light. Now, if you say, I have obtained spiritual grace direct from Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, it simply means Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani must have opened your heart. There is a difference between ilm and fiqh. Fiqh is understanding of the religion, and ilm is just knowledge. No matter how enormously knowledgeable you are, it doesn't mean you also have the understanding of the religion. There is a difference between fiqh and ilm. Ilm is knowing of things. For example, this is a phone. If you don't tell me this is a phone, there is no knowledge. I can see it, I can observe it, but somebody needs to tell me this is a phone. Right? If I don't tell you this is a fan, most probably you will think it's a toy, because it looks like a toy. So when somebody tell you something and you know by listening to that person, that is knowledge. But understanding, comprehension of the religion has nothing to do with knowledge. No matter how enormously knowledgeable you are, still it is pretty unsure that you're also able to understand the religion. Number 2, fiqh cannot be obtained from the books. There is knowledge in the books, but fiqh has nothing to do with knowledge. According to the Quran, fiqh is granted by God to an enlightened heart. Fiqh is to do with the enlightenment of the heart. When the heart is a light, when the heart is a light, जब दिल मुनव्वर हो जाता है, the noor, the light, has the attributes of comprehension. To comprehend is a divine attribute, and it cannot be contained by letters on piece of a paper. The comprehension is a divine attribute, and it will only come from divine. And it comes to the heart from divine. The knowledge can be contained in a book, but understanding of the religion cannot be contained in a book. It comes from God. Today we have many thousand books on Sufism and Islam. If I ask you a question, especially Tahir al-Qadri, how many Sufi books did Fatima al-Zahra radiyallahu ta'ala anha read? How many books? How many books Hassan Basri radiyallahu ta'ala anhu read? There was no Sufi book. And Bibi Fatima radiyallahu ta'ala anha, at that time Quran was not even in a bookish form. मकतब की करामत थी कि फैजाने नजर था, सिखलाए किसने इस्माइल को आदाब फर्जंदी. Now this poetry is from Allama Iqbal. It's not from me. मकतब की करामत थी कि फैजाने नजर था. How many Islamic libraries were there in Mecca 5,000 years ago? What Islamic library did he go to? Were there books of Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani there? Muhyiddin Ibn al-Arabi? Akhbarul Akhyar of Sheikh Shahabuddin Sohrawardi Rahmatullah alayh? Kimya-e-Saadat of Imam Ghazali? Kashful Majoob of Data Ali Hajweri? Fatuhul Ghaib of Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu? No, nothing. And there is no Sufi greater than Bibi Fatima and Hassan Basri and Maula Ali. They were the greatest. Hassan Basri, Bibi Fatima, Maula Ali. They were the greatest of all Sufis. Their status is timeless. And there was no Sufi book. Oh my gosh, look at that. How? How did they know everything? Yahdi Allahu li noorihi man yasha'u. Through Noor, Allah guides whomsoever He wishes to. And this is what Gohar Shahi teaches. Gohar Shahi does not direct people towards libraries, towards Sufi or religious seminaries. His Holiness Gohar Shahi guides hearts, steers hearts towards God. When you claim you acquired spiritual grace from Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, then why do you study books? Either you have irfan or you have ilm. When you have irfan, you don't need ilm, because ilm is part of irfan. Faz and ilm, when these two are combined, it is called irfan. Faz and ilm, when they are combined, irfan. When you have irfan, you don't need ilm. There was no madrasa at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The only means of dispensing knowledge and spiritual grace was to remain under the blissful sight of Prophet Muhammad. They used to keep company of Prophet Muhammad, and in that blissful company, their nafus would get purgated. The cleansing would start by mere sitting in the company of His Holiness. And then the light which would emanate from the eyes of Prophet Muhammad would fill their hearts with wisdom, with spiritual grace, with knowledge. A true Sufi is one whose heart is enlightened. Because without the enlightenment of the heart, there is no concept of Iman, as it is stated in the Holy Quran. وَمَن يُؤْمِن بِاللَّهِ يَهْدِي قَلْبَهُ. اللہ جس کو مومن بنانا چاہتا ہے، وَمَن يُؤْمِن بِاللَّهِ، اللہ جس کو مومن بنانا چاہتا ہے تو اس کے قلب کو ہدایت دے دیتا. And individuals like Maulana Ilyas Qadri and Maulana Tahir Qadri, they leave no stone unturned in going against Sarkar Gohar Shahi. In the past, on many occasions, Tahir Qadri had elusively spoken on the subject of the opening of the heart. But when recently a question was put to him regarding opening of the heart in the light of His Holiness Gohar Shahi's teachings, he said, "What is it? There is no such thing in Islam as opening of the heart." This is how much filthy their heart is. This is how much jealous they are of Sarkar Gohar Shahi. The fame His Holiness Gohar Shahi has obtained doesn't come from the study of books. It is God who is filling hearts of people with respect for Gohar Shahi, with love for Gohar Shahi. وَتُعِزُّ مَن تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَن تَشَاءُ. Sarkar Gohar Shahi's fame is not like a bubble. You know bubble? Water bubble? Their fame is like a water bubble. In no time, they do poo-pah and they become famous all over the world. And next day, nobody knows them. But Sarkar Gohar Shahi's fame is deeply rooted in the hearts of people. Gohar Shahi's respect, Gohar Shahi's love has roots in their hearts. Of course, it takes time to know him, to benefit from him. But once you know him, you benefit from him, then you do not want to know anybody else. Every single second with the announcement of the clock, tick tock, tick tock, Gohar Shahi's respect and love in the hearts of humanity is increasing. Every single second. And here you go. Gohar Shahi still has divine dispensary. His spiritual grace has many, many agents. Some in the form of human beings, some others on celestial bodies. From the moon, from the sun. In the Kaaba, in Hindu temple, in Sikh temple, in churches, whether it is Kaaba in Mecca or it's Dome of Rock in Jerusalem, Gohar Shahi's blessings cover all.
Aura TV. Guidance brought to you